New weekly challenge. It's the show's swan song, season 11. Let's just get to it, shall we? Fix the breach. Fix that breach in the wall. This is a tough mission. Now, Ezekial is our star hero. He has an absolutely fantastic leadership trait. If you don't use him very often, it's about time you did. He's great. I'm going to be bringing the S-Pole because I just am. Tyrese is going to hear with Mace. And then Glenn. Now, I'm just bringing him along so that I can give him Negan's Lucille. I think this is just so messed up. I can't resist occasionally taking him on missions. That's it. That's why. Just so that he's slinging Lucille over his shoulder like that. It's just horrific. Okay, now this, of course, is the advantage with Ezekiel. This is kind of why I think the S-Pole or something like that works well with his leadership trait. Okay, I want Glenn opening that gate. Walkers are going to flood out every single turn while that gate is open and while you are working on that gate as well. Not much you can do about that. You just got to be ready for it. 3 turns of drama, and you're really going to have to be able to kill, stun, or otherwise distract these walkers. Again, Ezekiel has got the S-Pole. If we're in the right position, then we can lasso the enemies. They're going to be normal walkers. They're not going to be unique walkers. They're immune to it. Now, the only thing... now there's a good point. There's some walkers on the other side of this gate. If we don't kill them, can we complete this mission? I think it's worth seeing. So let's just see if that's going to be a problem. Kill all walkers. That's good to know. Kill all walkers on your side of the fence. So you don't need to worry about those ones out there. Tricky part is just, again, when you are shutting up that piece of the gate, walkers going to come in, they're going to attack you. Ezekiel's leadership trait is very, very useful here because your characters will preemptively attack the enemy before they can get their rotten, stinking, gnarled hands on you. Definitely bring something that can stun them, distract them, you know, whatever. If you can just outright kill them as soon as they come through the gate, that's fine. Connie might be a very, very good addition to this team because of that damage increase and the fact that you're very likely to be charged. Obviously, you can see there's things that you can do, like use Tyrese's leadership trait to slow those walkers down, bat them away with things like maces. No threat counter, so you don't have to worry about making noise. It can be a tricky mission, though. Search the area, follow clues to find Connie before it's too late. Glenn, we're going to swippy swap you out for your younger incarnation. Pretty sure that there is a threat counter on this mission. You know, I just bring in Fighter Rosita because I just want to bring her. That's it. Glenn's coming along, of course, because this is a mission where we are searching things. His leadership trait makes him an excellent scavenger. As soon as you search something, you're going to have additional action points. It's a magnificent trait. Now, you've got so much freedom of movement, basically, because your guys will always, always be able to strike the enemy. That is what Ezekiel brings to the table. You can, of course, get primed as a trait on your armor. That does something that's very, very similar, but it's not exactly the same. Let's go here. Let's search this. Now, Glenn, of course, that item there is taking more than one turn, so we're not really getting to benefit from Glenn's leadership trait. It's not like he finishes searching things earlier. Okay, so we're learning something here. These items take 2 turns each, so Glenn is no better at searching them than anyone else would be. That's handy to know. That's one to remember. It's a searchy mission, but not one from which Glenn can benefit. It's good to know that. There's a threat counter, and I've had it before on this mission where I've been absolutely inundated with walkers, and it's been very, very tough to deal with. So I think that keeping it quiet is a very good strategy on this mission. It's a big map. You have to really move around a lot. You don't want to get just hemmed in and flooded with walkers. Glenn, no particular help on there. Maybe what you could do is you could have, if you have shooters and you have Yumiko on your team, they could be searching those things, those items, and if Yumiko is stood next to them, they will shoot when she shoots. Or you could have Connie, and she could be searching those objects. As long as you stay cuddled up next to her, you get the benefits of her leadership trait, the chance to get charge points and deal additional damage. So she's also kind of a good choice for that. They are not, those are the kind of examples of heroes who are not out of action as they are doing that job. Clear these buildings for the Commonwealth. Now this, we wind up separated. I know that. There's not a threat counter here. Now let's see. I think this is actually a pretty good combo. We'll see if I've got something correct. Now somebody is going to be separated from your team. 2 people start in the top left, if I recall. 1 person starts in the top right. Yes. So, how on earth do we deal with this? Well, we don't necessarily need to do this on these early missions, but you've got a variety of tools that could help you out. You could stun the enemies. You could distract them. You could simply have a pile of gore. If you don't have that, then what you can do, of course... Whoa. That was a misclick. What you can do, of course, is you could bring something, a support like Walker Mike. And he'll help you get through that. Whisperer's Mask as well. Great for distracting the enemies. I've got the S-Pole. You might not have the S-Pole. Hopefully you've got something like the Riot shields for the bruisers. You can lasso enemies with that as well. But I think it's very important to get your characters all together so that you can take on these walkers as a team. The fact that you can just let them come to you is just great. Of course you can do that. You don't have to actively go out and get them, because your characters will always defend themselves when they're being attacked. I mean, let's say that we've got a line like this, and the walkers are coming in from the bottom of the screen. That would be the maximum amount of walkers that you could have. You could have a maximum amount of, 3 attacking you. You've got your 3 guys lined up like this. They're going to be able to defend themselves. So there's ways of using this environment here to your advantage. There's lots of tight corners. Walkers can jump out at you. Of course, again, Ezekiel as the leader, well, that helps a lot, because if they do jump out at you, you're going to be able to defend yourself. There's no threat counter. You can be as noisy as you want. So melee characters, ranged characters, your choice. Just remember that whoever you put in that 3rd spot in the team is going to start at the top right of the map. They're going to be separated, and you're going to have to deal with that. Sure, you don't have to get your team together in order to complete the mission. Maybe you're just gonna let that solitary survivor be a one-man killing team or one-woman killing team. But if you want to get them together, just think, oh, right, okay, clear out these walkers for the Commonwealth. I know what happens. Somebody's separated. I need Walker Mike. I need the Whisperer's Mask, maybe. I need to be willing to use my flares. That pile of gore, so that character can walk past those walkers and join up with their teammates. As you get to higher difficulties, there's probably going to be things like tanks, Commonwealths, tougher walker types appearing. Cross the minefield to Meridian. Oh, God. Okay, yeah, this one's fun. Yeah, these ones where you have things like minefields can be a bit of a nuisance. They honestly can. I want confusing weapons. I can't remember if there's a threat counter on this. I think there might be. Definitely want a ranged weapon. Maybe we get something that will reduce threat as well. Ezekial, of course, is going to be the lead. So, the pathfinding in this game can be a little bit tricky. You've got to be really damn sure that you know where you are stepping. And I've just realized, actually, that I think that having at least one ranged character is a big advantage. Kind of just want to check something. No. Okay, you can see what I was trying to do there, obviously. Seeing if you can blow up the mines. You actually can't. Leaving the walkers to just wander around for a bit and blow themselves the hell up. It's a pretty good idea. I suggest sticking the brightness all the way up on your screen. There is a difference between mines that have been blown up and ones that are still active, but quite frankly, the distinction is it's not very clear. And something else that I've just realized, of course, there's lots and lots of mines. Letting them go off can actually be a good tactic. So maybe worrying about making noise, maybe you just shouldn't. You should just be ready to deal with what comes as a result of that. Now, this is what I'm talking about. That dodgy pathfinding. It's trying to take Negan into an open mine. It's just something that happens. I suggest also that you go into the options and you take off the auto cover option. Make it so that your characters aren't automatically going to start looking for cover. That's just a good bit of advice in general. Reach the exit. Yes, so it's grayed out. Those green escape spots are grayed out. Don't worry about that. As soon as you get close to them, they activate. You don't have to kill a set number of walkers, set off a set number of mines. But it's a tricky one. You have to take it slow and steady, but at the same time, there is a threat counter. Some more walkers are going to be appearing. It's tough. You need to use those mines to your advantage, definitely. And the key thing is, don't misclick. Just be very careful where you're stepping. And just be careful where the AI is trying to take your people. It won't make smart decisions. Not like you. Alright, what's next? Supply run, search the hangar and get the supplies. Now, there's definitely something to this one, and I can't put my finger on it. I can't remember. I think Glenn's a good choice here. Yeah, you know, I kind of like the idea of bringing Negan. We got a chance to get charge points for everybody as and when he hits things. We'll go for this. Can't remember if there's a threat counter. No. Okay. Oh gosh. Now I know for sure that there is a technique to doing this. Can't remember what it is off the top of my head. I've done a video before where I've gone through it. Now I think we can search this and we're okay. Good. Nothing comes through. Now, that's it. Okay, as soon as we do those, this becomes active. Takes 2 turns to search. Bad guys just start flooding out of everywhere. And this gets very tough as we get to it later. I know that there is definitely a technique that you can do to really, really minimize your exposure to the walkers. Oops, that was stupid. I mean, dog's actually a good choice on this one to slow walkers down. Of course, you could always throw flares, you know, Whisperer's Mask, that kind of thing. I don't think I did that as efficiently as I possibly could. Let's just go back to that and let's just check when those walkers get triggered, shall we? Because that's the key thing here. I think Connie is an excellent choice here. I think Connie is an excellent choice because there's no time limit. There's nothing pushing you to sort of stay in that mission. There's no threat counter or anything like that. We can see that if you've got something that can lasso the enemies, well, that's pretty good. Oh, and handily enough, look. Look, 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 look. We can see that there is an enemy in that top right room. Because it's been lassoed. Handy. Now, why did I say Connie is a great choice? Because we can just stay here till everybody is fully charged. And we know that we're ready to rock. Now, let's go here. Let's just get everybody in order. We can use our charge attack because we can get that back straight away with Connie. Okay, let's... Now, what I want to see is... do those walkers start flooding out as soon as we have searched both these rooms? Could be wrong, but I think we can open the doors. Yes, we can open the doors and we're safe. Now. Search. Escape. Search. This becomes unlocked. Okay, that was one of the top tips. You can get a turn of that done before the walkers even come in. And that's great because these guys obviously are going to be behind the curve. They're not going to be able to reach you before you finish searching that. That was it. I knew that there was a good technique for this. That's it. It's all about knowing what you can do before the enemy are triggered. Perhaps what we should do... let's do one more. Let's just see if we can search that top left room without the enemies being triggered. It's a possibility. It might be that that's just one step too far. But knowing what we can and can't get away with is kind of key here. Okay, let's cuddle up, get that damage boost. Clear this first, there's no rush. Glenn, I want you to have your full charge points. Great. Okay, no walker in there this time. Okay, we search that, Opening the door here, but we're not searching it. Okay, so as soon as we've searched 2 rooms, the bad guys are alerted. They will start coming for us. So that's how that works. That's good to know. Connie, go on then, you search that. Why not? Let's get rid of this goon. Yes, let's get Glenn searching that. Oops, I might put Ezekial in a dodgy position. Okay, he's fine. And we get out there. Okay, so that's how that particular mission works. It can be tricky, and you've got to deal with some armoured walkers at the start. There's just no getting away with that. But there's ways and means to deal with the additional walkers as they come in. I mean, essentially, you can just get everything searched before those additional walkers are a threat, before they're a potential problem. Let's move on to the next one. That's the tunnel. Cross the tunnels and keep your eyes peeled. Now, this is a particularly good one because it's one of those ones where bad guys just pop out at you. I'm not so worried about being fast here, because we're gonna kind of take it a little bit easy anyway. If I recall, there's some good places where we can bottleneck the enemy. So let's bring Tyrese. Part of the reason for that, of course, is that he is a warrior, and warriors are always going to start charged. Whatever class the Star-Hero is for the week, that class is charged across the board. So, okay. Yeah, and there we go. That's the thing that this mission does for you. Bad guys are just going to appear as you walk past them. I mean, it's probably set, so if you go past, you know, a pile of blankets, whatever they are, it's always going to spawn the same walkers. So, I mean, you can eventually get to know this level well enough to avoid or deal with that problem. So far, going across the top, we've had 1 bad guy spawn, 2 bad guys spawn. So that's good to know. One of the benefits, of course, is that our lead character is Ezekial, exactly the kind of character that you want when there is a risk of being ambushed by walkers just appearing out of nowhere. One of those walkers, of course, was a tank, so you better be ready to deal with that. I would recommend perhaps picking either the top or the bottom so that you're drawing less attention. If you go straight through the middle, then obviously there are more angles from which the walkers can attack. Go along the top or the bottom. The walkers in the middle, bottom of the screen, say they're not even going to notice you. So you're kind of fine. Lots of bottleneck opportunities. So Magna, we just saw her portrait there. And Tyrese are pretty useful. Their leadership traits work very well. And of course, they're going to start off charged. Could always bring Connie along. Got plenty of time to just sort of cuddle up next to her, get your charge points and damage increased from her leadership trait. Ooh, 666 stars. Huh. And then we are back to the start. So there you go. This is an interesting set of missions. It's not particularly easy. It's not particularly hard. These are the kind of missions where it's all about your tactics and strategy. It's not. There's no sort of blind luck missions like fish in a barrel. These are ones where your team, their loadout, and your tactics in the actual mission are going to count for everything. If you do have any dramas with any particular mission, let me know, and either I or somebody else will help in the comments. But good luck to you and your guild. That's it for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.